Hello my friends! In the previous episode, I told you about the first time I felt the certainty that there is a consciousness above us, at least on me. Then there were many manifestations of this consciousness that made me question who I am and if I was sent to Earth to accomplish a mission. The future will certainly bring answers to these questions. But in the meantime, every night I experience the extraordinary effects of Extasium, far beyond even intense relaxation. There is a phenomenon that I will try to describe. Without preparation, belief, or prayer of any kind, I feel the sensation of being in a relationship with the divine that I have discovered through this creation when it was not part of my belief before. You will agree, we are far beyond a simple painting or even any work of art, be it a masterpiece. Here's how it works. First of all, I cover myself more because my body will get colder due to the slowing down of my heart. Then I enter the Extasium and immerse myself for a few moments in this exceptional beauty of this place, which already brings me a feeling of calm and well-being. I feel like I am in some kind of futuristic spaceship, both a jet parade flying carpet and a flying temple. He will make me plunge into the greatest journey, motionless, in the depths of myself, where I will discover a treasure, the non-thought of the energy of love. That is to say, an energetic fluid that invades me by making me feel love independently of anyone else. It is essential that I contemplate for a few moments the painting in front of me, the gateway of ecstasy. I specify that it represents the door in the sky as it is described at the beginning of the text of the Apocalypse, Revelation, as I interpret it according to discoveries I made by linking the image and the music, and that I will describe at greater length in future podcasts. I chose a piece of highly inspired classical music, such as a requiem, Stabat Mater, or other sacred music. In the past, I would have used the Dreammaker song generated by contemplating the painting illuminated in various ways in color, as I wrote earlier. The action is even more powerful, but because of new neighbors, I can no longer use this music, which is too noisy because it is uncompressed. The chords are more active than the instrumental parts. Solo women's voices are even more powerful. And the one that impresses me the most is that of Maria Callas. I only listen to short tracks of 3 to 10 minutes as the action is so fast. I start the music and plunge into the dark simultaneously. The effect is immediate and caused by an exceptional acoustic quality that I call your energy. This vibratory energy is generated by the sound system comprising a particular treatment of the electronics devices, a connection by cables that I developed, and especially by loudspeakers that I designed and realized different from all that exists on the market and that I will describe later. They provide a feeling of truth that no other system gives, even the most expensive. I gave them the appearance of characters called Mr. I and Lady O, hence the name Higher Energy, which also has other meanings that I developed in my book. All this took me many years of very difficult research. In another episode, I will tell how I go there, and I will even show their interior. And in an indispensable combination, there is the acoustic of the room, which required many long and tiring efforts. Its peculiarity, which causes its magical effects, is that it reproduces the harmonics very faithfully and in a very high dose as one never encountered it even in an acoustic concert. This enveloping sound, so special, provokes a kind of very subtle message of the chronal box and also of the whole body, which one perceives only after a deep concentration plunged in the dark. This action causes the excitement of a particular point of the brain, the pleasure center. It is what I have concluded from the effects it has on me. It is one that I manage to perceive with my eyes closed. In moments of intense ecstasy or supreme happiness, has the shape of a diamond crystal that I have called celestial diamond. This object obsessed me for years before it landed in the center of the painting, and even longer before I was able to perceive it in the center of the brain. He would be the pilot of the brain, the one who directs us. It is completely immaterial and behaves a bit like the quartz crystals used in radios during the last wars. It picks up and emits waves from another immaterial dimension and moreover controls all our actions. It seems to be the divine spark that each of us has in our heads and in the center of our souls. As soon as the music has started, I feel an intense vibration of my whole being that gives a sensation of absolute enjoyment. That is to say, the extreme maximum of what I can feel and which will increase as the connection in the Extasium increases. I perceive the inside of my head as if my psychic gaze was located on the back of my skull, and I contemplate a ball of light very different from the material light. It is as if the neurons are illuminated. In the center of this large ball, which will be in fact the soul, appears sometimes a small ball that can take various colors, and also a larger ball, rather golden, with sometimes a ring around it. This central ball transforms itself in its turn and becomes this diamond which changes impulsively into a cross as the plus sign, into an eye, into a triangle pointing upward, and many other variations impossible to remember, but almost always purely geometric. Simultaneously, through this contemplation, I feel an enjoyment of such great intensity that I can't even hear the music anymore. It is an orgasm that is incomparably more intense and lasting than the sexual orgasm, but of the same nature of love, without the need for a partner. Very quickly, my entire spine entered into a kind of vibration in which I feel like a fluid that goes up and down and is pure enjoyment. I feel myself leaving the light on during one of these sessions, and you can see the video on Facebook in my group Alain Gabriel Club Extasium, or on my website extasium.fr. When the music stops, I stay in silence for about 2 minutes of very intense sensations. Then I get up, turn off the electronics, and go to my room next door. I sit at the edge of my bed in the position found in Egyptian statues, with my feet flat on the floor and my hands on my thighs. There I feel a strong surge of energy in my head, with often an intense vision of the ball and ring surrounding it. The stronger the sensation, the clearer the vision. After 2 minutes, I lie down on my bed, covered with a very light blanket, with my hands flat on each side of my body. If the same process happens each time, what I feel is always different and very intense. I then discover another intermediary self which emits more or less melodious sounds for a short period of time, sometimes even sung, and which accelerates intensity and end up with a continuation like a biological machine. I feel transformed into an elevator that quickly ascends to a higher plane of consciousness, where I feel completely different from my daily being. Paradise, which is a zone of divine energy between the material particles described in quantum mechanics and the central immaterial divine ball. While still being myself, I am another being of pure conscious, luminous energy. I have the feeling that I have reached my true nature and that my physical body is only an independent biological machine. The process takes place in 3 phases of approximately 20 minutes each. All the thoughts of daily life have disappeared, and only thoughts related either to my creation, the structure of the universe, or the structure of the divine remain at the beginning of the first phase. Then I reach the non-thought, which is the supreme ecstasy, with a feeling of absolute. I feel a permanent ecstatic enjoyment, always different, with like wave or orgasmic ascent and descent. I don't realize that I'm coming down until I realize that thoughts are coming into my head. In fact, it's my brain that starts to work and produces images without any interest, like a machine that works alone without pilot. My mouth being dry, I drink a little water and leave for the second phase. In this one, there is still a little bit of creative thinking, but I am more and more in the bliss of no thought. Put it down again, drink a little water, and it's gone again. This time, I'm almost always perfectly still in the supreme enjoyment of non-thought. Sometimes geometrical shapes appear, but most of all, I feel at times like a slight pinch, a small spike, or a very light touch. I thought it mentally by emitting a sound that makes me think of a vacuum cleaner, and I feel a kind of fluid that penetrated and invades me completely. Usually, this flow of energy enters me through my feet, but it can be through my hands or any other part of my body. The feeling is beyond words, but the closest thing to it is the energy of love. The session usually ends after an hour, but sometimes I stay almost 2 hours in this beatific state. I also film myself during the session. It can be seen on my website. It is very difficult to put into words what I feel, but I can say that I feel that I am in communion with one of the many aspects of God. If it is what awaits us after death, I think so, but as long as I am here, I can be sure. I wish I could share this daily experience, but unfortunately, for the moment, I am the only one who can benefit from it. The Extasium is untransferable, but it is also a prototype of which I took all the plans and could be reproduced, either for a wealthy individual because it is very expensive, or for public places. In the meantime, It is possible to have a taste of it by viewing the telescopes from the Extasium, whose central painting, The Gate of Ecstasy, animated by Song of the Makers, was filmed and then reworked on my computer and following my instructions.